and legal direction on matters governance and ethics or integrity. Whereas a multi-agency team of war against corruption was recommended for establishment in 2015 by the Task Force on the Review of Anti-Corruption, Legal Policy and Institutional Framework, a multiple agency ad hoc team had already engaged in collaborative anti-corruption operations with a measure of success. Executive Order number 1 of 2025 envisions the establishment of the MAT under the State Department of Justice, Human Rights and Constitutional Affairs. Whereas the enactment of the Conflict Interest Act 2025, the amendments to the Proceeds of Crime Act and Anti-Laundering Act have strengthened the fight against corruption by providing greater impetus and establishing more and a more robust legal framework. So now, therefore, I, William Samoei Ruto, President, Commander-in-Chief of Kenya Defence Forces, by the authority vested in me by the Constitution, do hereby proclaim that establishment of the multi-agency team on war against corruption. A multi-agency team on war against corruption is hereby established with the strategy objective of creating synergy and interagency cooperation in the fight against corruption, economic crimes, and related offenses. The multi-agency team shall comprise of the following: the Executive Office of President, that is the chairman, alafu Office of the Attorney General, Secretary, National Intelligence Service watakuwa pale, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, Office of the DPP, Office of the DCI, Director of Criminal Investigation, that is Financial Reporting Center will also be there. Asset Recovery Agency is also there. Kenya Revenue Authority, Central Bank of Kenya, and the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority. The membership is mandated to co-opt additional representation from designated agencies to further enhance its objectives. George, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think this team is going to do some work? It has all agencies in it.
Peter, we have to we have to stop lying to the country. We have seen a lot of problems in this country that we've tried even putting committees and stuff to implement, and nothing has happened. Peter, even as low as Nairobi River, the problem with the Nairobi River, like our president took a whole committee to solve that issue of pollution in that river. Peter, I have not seen any change years down the line. I haven't seen any change. When we are having mandamanos and we are having the problem of now doing away with the president, I think we even had committees that are formed by the presidency due to look into what and what and what. You know, this committee, they don't even yield into anything meaningful, Peter. You know, these are just things that are put together to lie to people. Let's even go back to the time we were having like a lot of theft in camps, I think. The president formed a team and said that in 15 days, he should be having a reporter on the table and he will come and tell Kenyans what happened. That it never even happened, Peter. He never got back to us, you know. And those people just survived. Nothing happened, you know, Peter. And even should they come today and tell us that, oh, this is the amount that has been stolen from so and so and so, do we really hold these people accountable? We've seen a lot of public, you've seen a lot of public figures who are serving in the government who are caught in corruption cases and nothing happens to them. The last Minister of Treasury, I think, alikuwa na problem of corruption. What really happened? Nothing. When you get a new government, after a certain while, those people walk away scot-free, Peter. So I don't think that putting in a commission today is going to help anything. We have the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Committee. Commission, sorry, not committee. Like if you are just to look at their records for the last 10 years, Peter, there's no civil servant who has been held accountable. I think only John Waluke peke yake ndo amekuwa nini na maybe Waititu. But all of them, they've walked scot-free. Those who are arrested unapatanga wanakuanga pardon during presidential pardons, Peter. So it means we are doing nothing, you know. When we had someone who was serious in that commission, that was PLO, He was sent home packing very fast, And I remember his resignation speech when he said that he was tough like the eye of Omena, like he was sent home, you know. And we just want people who are complacent in those commissions. We don't really want change. That's the problem with us. So there's nothing a committee is going to achieve today that a commission in charge of Nini is not able to deal with. I think all matters corruption, we have a commission that should deal with that. They've been mandated by the law. They have every instrument they need to curb corruption. They're just choosing not to. That is what I will say, Pipita. So having a commission there to do that is not going to help us. And then I think even the problem that the president is having, and maybe it's a problem we have as a nation, is we are comfortable with corruption when it benefits us. But now when it benefits another person, that's when you start crying about it. We should just be uncomfortable with corruption in each and every place, regardless of the person doing it. That is when we will do away with corruption. And corruption, it's something that penetrates into our culture until it becomes a norm. And you can't do away with the norm just once. It has to be something that we have to start eliminating. And probably eliminating corruption in a country as Kenya, it needs very extreme rules, Pipita. And we've seen countries that put up extreme rules to deal with corruption, and it worked. Sometimes extreme conditions could be even hanging or even execution by death. Ukikuwa umepatikana you are corrupt. That way, it will, like, once we know that the consequences are very dire, now we will walk away from it. And slowly by slowly, we will recover. But otherwise, at a committee that you can also bribe. If someone can bribe the whole parliamentary committee and survive impeachment, now how about just a committee of 5 people or 10 people? Is that going to work? It's not going to work, Pipita.
Do you feel, because I feel like it's going to be also used as a witch hunt material? Are we going to be having people going to be witch hunted? You guys, as that report came out, everybody was talking about Kimani Chungwa. I don't know what you feel. Do you think they're going? It's meant to target someone politically?
Peter, one thing I've learned with politics is when you see something is bad, Wanasemanga, when you see a thorn on the way, please just remove it and throw it away, because when you come back, you could step on it. And that thing really applies in politics. That today, if you do something to someone and it's really bad and you wouldn't want it to be done to you, just don't do it. Because each and every day we see new political formations. The same tactics you are using to colonize, to step on other people, could be used against you, Pipita. And if you never spoke about it, it could actually even send you home. The issue of impeachment, when you saw Gachagua was going home, it was very nice for the MPs. Until now, the IBC was formed and we wanted to also take them home. And all of a sudden, now they were saying it can't work. So, witch hunting, okay. Kama mimi sahii nilikuwa nasema, if you're used by the executive ama whichever power to achieve wrong things within the community, these institutions, should be much aware that the same organs, the same institutions could be used against you to send you home. So I think the only problem right now is that maybe we will see a few figures in the political sections, whose tenure is almost done. Like right now, there's rumors that Nani could not survive anymore within the UDA, Ichungwa. Maybe his value is now diminished. And now when your value is diminished, maybe we get another person who can do whatever you are doing or can do it better. And now when that hand is now being cut, maybe from the position you are serving, when that hand is cut, it's usually very painful. Because I remember when Kinanani Murkomen were being tamed from Jubilee in their positions in the parliament, the likes of Susan Kehika, they were very bitter, very bitter, because now those positions come with privileges. And now when you leave, it's very it's very painful. Nobody wants to leave. Nobody wants to quit those positions. And For that reason, I usually just say, when you're in a position, just have your best and do your best. Knowing that tomorrow you could as well not be in that position, and even the laws you could pass today could affect you tomorrow. And that's why I usually emphasize that we should get leaders who are future oriented, leaders who think leaders who think beyond their tenure, leaders who think beyond their benefits, leaders who think beyond their generations. And that is something that we really, really lack from our leaders, Pepita. So you find that sometimes even the same laws they put into place come to haunt them even after they're out of the seats. Even during their tenure battle, those same laws can even still haunt them. So that's one problem we have with the current leaders that you're having. I'm experiencing. Yeah.
All right. I'd hope to hear from kina Matt wako hapa hivi, kina the shaman. I'd like to hear your opinion on that issue of the parliamentarians. I listened through parliament today, George. Hizi ndo zile siku bunge inakuanga tamu sana. Ngacha nikuchezea a couple of videos. Your MP today was sounding like a god bwana. Hawezi fanya makosa rais yule. Naona mtu mmoja peke yake ndio amefollow Mantra Kenya Limited. Gonga pale vi follow Mantra Kenya Limited right now. Let's follow Mantra Kenya Limited. That's all we need from you today on Home Run with PP. Tufike 370, we are 366. Let's go. 4 people kwenda pale vi kwenye. You click on that blue link, it will take you straight to Mantra Kenya Limited. Make sure you follow them. There, we are currently at 367. Let's close it at 370 today. While we are doing the following, let me find you news. Let me find you the news. In other news, we also proceeded to the quarterfinals where the president has been giving money for the youth. The whole team 5 million each. That is 210 million spent. Hey, George. Mi hata ni kama tu talent ya usanii nitaacha niende nitafute talent ya mpira. Kwani miaka 30 ni mob. Talent mpira inaweza anza anytime.
Pipita, and imagine that is the same president who was asking at where can you get 150 million? Because
just calculate the total team in Harambee Stars, including the backyard team, is 42 people. And every of them right now is due 5 million Kenya shillings. The president earns $1 million per month. So that's about 12 million per year.
Exactly. And now even just beyond that, imagine someone like Sonko could afford to pledge 400 million. We have Raila pledging 500,000 for each and every member of the Nini of Harambee Stars. And if you put together this money, Pipita, someone was asking like now, so these people just have money lying somewhere that they can pay that they can just give out after every match, And it brings me back to something I often say here. I think as a country, we have a lot of money. The only thing is our priorities, Pipita. If we really, really had our priorities right, we could have really gone so far as a country. And right now, when the president was shocked at where does a politician get 150 million pesa za wananchi, ya Kenya napeana imetoka wapi? Because that is also pesa za wananchi. If he says that the government is going to contribute that is the people's money. And he cannot claim to be having that much money. The other day, someone was lying to us on TV at the money they gave out on status, in status that the leaders had sat down and they decided to contribute money. Where do you get the money to contribute that? Because now, sahi kwanza aliweka hiyo pesa ni 2.5 million Pipita. So if you do 2.5 million for 40 members, that's close to 100 million if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So cumulatively, the money that the Harambee Stars team will walk away with by the time they're doing they're going to the finals will be somewhere close to more than 500 million if I'm not wrong. And that is money just spent on Harambee Stars alone. That means that these people have access to a lot of money that sometimes is not even accounted for, even in these reports that we see from the nini anitwanga nani huyu mwenye anafanyanga hizo reports,
Auditor General.
Yeah, from the Auditor General. We have a lot of money. Yeah. And I think there's even one time Miguna said vile president anakwanga amewekonga a lot of money sana zenye nakwanga at his disposal, zenye zinakwanga so unaccounted for. So me I usually say that we lose a lot of money to corruption, Pipita. And corruption at any level is quite costly, you know. And I think the issue with the president lately, he was just bitter that it's not him having access to that money, because he himself, he has access to a lot of money. Yeah. So he shouldn't be pointing fingers where he himself has also failed. Yeah.
I'd want to hear other people's thoughts kwa sababu imegeuka tena ni sisi tu peke yetu hapa, na naona kina Kagiri hapa, kina Frederick Wanyonyi wamekuwa na sisi hapa tangu tuanze. You're still here up until 9 p.m. So you can join in and maybe share your thoughts on this issue. Ikiwa kwamba tunaangalia pia pale hivi juu tuko na Mantrack Kenya ambao wako na sisi, follow them. They will definitely follow you. And of course, tunaongelea kuhusu hali ya uchumi na corruption, because it's very important to understand how bad corruption really eats a country. Today, the Ministry of Education released the funds for this March, for this year's financial read. Right now, I don't even know, George, for someone who actually maybe supports this regime, how much in a limbo they have been left in right now, because on one side there is the president fighting the MPs who are also on their side. So it's quite confusing. I'd like to hear what Engineer has to say on that. Engineer, talk to me.
So I said the other time, very cynical, and my thinking is that unfortunately, I don't think that the president is sincere in his saying that he's going to fight corruption, or is in his fight for corruption. Because I think that if he was sincere, I think there are very many people in the executive who are working right now in the executive office who are themselves very corrupt. So if he wanted to really clean house for real, maybe he would have started from the executive, from the ministers, from even the people who just work in State House, whose work is to connect other people with some money, some tenders, you know, and maybe he can start from there and clean house. So I think this is just a political maneuver so that he can now claim to be fighting corruption. And, you know, if he takes on parliament, he has, you know, people can back him, and people can back him and say, oh, this is a president who is fighting corruption. Because obviously, as we all know, the parliament is obviously very, very corrupt. Parliament is one of the most corrupt institutions in this country, but so is every other institution in this country. Sorry to say, even the military is corrupt. Even the police is very, very corrupt. Every institution in this country is infected with corruption. In fact, as a Kenyan, anytime you go to a government offices for services, there is no time you will go and expect not to be served well, or to be served fast without engaging in some form of corruption. So I think that is what the president is doing. I don't think that it is really a fight between the MPs and the president as such. I think it is just a show fight. I think they are just pretending. I think the president is doing this for narrative purposes, because, you know, he has to, because in 2027 his biggest narrative challenge will be that he is corrupt. So he has to have a defense for that, and says, you know, I rolled out, I made a team that was anti-corruption and all of that. But I just think that it is just politics. I don't think that it is anything substantive, to be really honest. Thank you. Those are my thoughts.
All right, thank you, Engineer. Nasema kwamba we should not take it very seriously. Ranjo, talk to me.
Yes. Yeah, my input to this is that the corruption starts from the ground level. You see, many of them, even our president and the all the stakeholders, they are there, and they are the one who are the pillars of the corruption. That's the problem. And if we are not going to face this thing as it should, then we need to know that corruption, enye inaanza from hata mtoto mdogo akiwa pale hivyo, si unaona, hati mtoto mdogo akiwa pale hivyo anaambiwa ati mam, ukikuja si uniletee switi. So si unaona anaanza corruption from there. So hii ni kitu kubwa sana, sijui how will we solve this problem, because it is eating up our country, and like watoto wetu hata pia watakuja wapate tu those problems still there. So for me, I think we need to be cautious on this issue, and also then we should be careful on whatever we, like for example, the multi agency that was formed today. I don't know whether it is going to work, or is it they are just sugarcoating, and they are not facing the bull by its own. Yeah, so that's my input on that.
All right, I'll go back to engineer for a minute. Engineer, you are in your submission. You are not very convinced with the MPs and all that. The MPs today have come out to speak very strongly against this, against the president and Baba, and telling them that when the president wanted Shah, they gave him the. Do you think the MPs that are reminding him that he is there because of them, and do you think they can pull off an impeachment motion against the president?
I don't think so. I don't think they can. These people are just, most of these people are just figureheads. They were there because, for example, I'll give an example. For example, my constituency is Kapseret constituency, the infamous one, where engineers come from. Mimi was Sudi kabisa. So, okay, I don't really like him. I think he's a false role model, but that's another story. But you see, Sudi is there because of the patronage of William Ruto. So is literally every other MP in the Rift Valley region is due to the patronage of William Ruto. So going against William Ruto is losing the election. The same way to the people in Nyanza. So I don't think that these people really have the courage or even the manpower to try to, and even the finances, if we are just speaking frankly, to go against William Ruto, and William Ruto has the power. So I just think that this is something that is being choreographed. So we are not seeing what is behind the curtain, but we are being shown that they are fighting now, and it's like watching wrestling. You think that Randy Orton and John Cena really hate each other. No, it's just the person who's getting fooled there is you. So I think I'm not convinced that they're coming out strongly, and I don't even think that they can make such a statement of coming out strongly without even the backing of the principals themselves. I think the principals told them this is what you should do. I think that they are trying to regain the narrative that parliament is somehow independent, and the government is fighting corruption at the same time. But I don't think that any of that is going on. I think that is just a lie that they are showing us. I don't think that is the case.
So the Kenyans this time round tunapelekwa tena for another ride. From what I'm getting, kama tunaenda tena for another roller coaster ride, and I think it is by design that it happened after we have been marinated na 2.5 million ya wachezaji wa Harambee Stars. Or it's just my thinking. I don't know, but I feel like kuna kitu hapo.
Yes. Yes. I also think that is a very good setup. When the president says, I watch the president very carefully, because I think that you can say there are a lot of bad things you can say about the president, but in terms of politics, he knows what he's doing. You see, when he says something that, where does one person get 150 million? It's not that he's stupid. He doesn't know that criticism can be reflected back to him. He knows very well. And he knows the criticism will be that the money that he has given Harambee Stars. And then he will turn the narrative to be, these people are not patriotic. They are very angry that I have given Harambee Stars this money. I think that is the narrative line that he's going to stick. I think he's trying to bait the opposition to bite that 150 million remark and then come back to him. I think that is what he's trying to pull here. I might be wrong or I might be overthinking, but that is what I think.
I would want to hear what others in the listener panel feel and think as well, and also have put up a poll for you to vote in. Make sure you are following Mantra Kenya Limited. Pale hivi juu nimeweka the account. Mtu support jamani. This is our first gig and it's really going bad for us. So kindly go like that. Go follow them, for no reason at all. Just follow them because you support Home Run with PP. Yeah, I'll really appreciate. That is all I need from you today. A follow on Mantra KE. Pale hivi juu. Tuko 367 followers. We should be at 500, but issues have happened, and I also had a back issue and all that. So anyway, make sure you're following them pale hivi juu so that we can also prove ourselves that we can do this marketing thing for them. Now, I see we have a new speaker. Nimemwita tena, nimempa mic akapotea. Yes, mine is to just remind you that we are here to talk about State of the Nation on Home Run with Pipi. Yeah, we happen here each and every day from 4 p.m. all the way to 9 East African time, and make sure you always tuned in on these conversations. I see Otieno Edgar to join kutoka Mombasani. Ndugu yangu, talk to us.
Yes, Pipi.
Jambo.
Poa sana, mkoaje vipi?
Tuko salama, labda wewe?
Niko shwari kabisa. Nimesikia wabunge wamechemsha moto huko.
Wamewaka. Nilikuwa niko kwa barabara nikisafiri and I was really impressed. I was very impressed.
Wamechemka kuchemka, lakini si ni ukweli.
Baada ya hapo waliambia nenyewe tumepiga show. Venye kamera ilifunga waliambia nenyewe tulipiga show. Tumeua. Labda hata wamewekewa 50-50k ya motivation.
Lakini hiyo ni ukweli, hakuna mambo kudanganyana hapo. Tumejua it is in public domain. Ile walikuwa wanabraibiwa, wanapewa uongo, alafu wanini ili wapass bills, ili approve kila kitu. Hiyo kila mtu amejua, and iko hadi kwa documentary Kenyan Parliament. Tumejua hiyo ni kitu chenye hawezi kataa tabia zao. But hii kitu chenye nilikuwa nataka huyo previous speaker mwenye ameongea tu huyo. Hizo pesa zenye huyo jamaa anapea player si pesa zake. Hizo pesa ni nadhani mmejua hiyo mambo ya talanta hela, hizo ndio pesa ndio wanatumia sahihi kunini hao vijana. Lakini si ati anatoa pesa kwa mfuko zake. Hizo watu wenye wanasema ati anatoa pesa kwa mfuko zake, hapo si ukweli. Talanta hela, hakuna place yenye walikuwa wanatumia hizo pesa, sasa ndio wanatumia sahihi kuzitoa. But kitu lazima tukubaliane nayo. Mimi nimefurahia, nimesikia akisema sijui wanaenda kuunganisha sijui nini, sijui ODPP, sijui DCI, sijui akina nani, wote wanataka kupigana na ufisadi. Tuanze na yeye kwanza, achunguzwe. Tukimpata kama ako safi, tutafurahia sana, lakini I doubt. La mwisho ni wacha tuangalie vile tutafika. But ukweli wabunge wetu ni wafisadi wengi. Watu waongei. Sulisikia hadi nimeona hadi speaker Wetangula akisema hadi si ukweli, hata yeye mwenyewe ashapata malalamishi kutoka kwa watu wengi, lakini huwa amenyamaza. Mbona yeye huwa ananyamaza? Kumaanisha yeye pia ni fisadi. Kama watu wanalalamika kuhusu watu ambao unawaongoza, alafu umekuwa ukinyamazia, kumaanisha wewe pia ni mbaya. Hiyo ndio kitu chenye Wetangula anafanya. Sasa hii anatuambia tufanye nini? Hiyo bunge hata inafaa ibadi iwekwe tu iishe, kila mtu aende vifungwe, kila mtu aende kwao. But wacha tutaangalia, tutaona tualiyeje watafika na hiyo mambo yao kupambana na ufisadi, na waanze na wao wenyewe. Ndio wafisadi wa kwanza sana. Ni hivyo tu.
Kweli unajua mimi nakushangaa jo venye wewe unakuwa tu hapa hivi negative. Na watu wameshajisema kwamba wao hawaogopi corruption, wanajua corruption iko kwa magavana. So sielewi George.
Pipita, I think tukisema hata corruption iko kwa magavana Pipita, corruption hata iko kwa magavana peke yake. Like sasa nimekwambia corruption in this country imefika like almost every level. Pipita, when you look at the auditor's report, I think sasa almost 3 years in a row, tunaambiwa ati tuko na ghost schools in this country. Pipita, I am pretty sure that when we are doing KCSE and KCPE in this country, the Minister of Education, the Minister of Education takes account of all the existing schools in the country. You know, they are very much aware of all the institutions in this country. When they're budgeting, they know, you know, when they're allocating teachers, they know, you know. And for a whole ministry to come and tell us that we've been losing how much money to ghost schools that could not, like, were not even known to the ministry. The Auditor General is the one who only realizes this in the reports. You know, it's very shocking, very, very shocking. And there's this thing we are usually very uncomfortable with, Pipita. We are very uncomfortable nowadays with people from other nationalities in our country. Pipita, I once met someone who worked with immigration. And let me tell you, those people usually, he was saying that he made a lot of money. At least he was honest with me from working in the immigration. And he said that the Kenya's borders are very porous, courtesy of the immigration. Because now someone will come there with 100,000 and he will get all the documents required to be registered as a Kenyan citizen, you know. And that's why we've ended up with a lot of nationalities from other places, and they're very comfortable in the country. And there's nothing we can do about it. Unaona? And this is something that he was telling me has been going on for more than 10 years. It has not started today. And Pipita, I've been to Nakuru. There's a certain section of Nakuru that if you go to, it has a lot of people from South Sudan. How those people survive, I don't know. There are rumors that those people are usually given money. I don't know how it happens. But wako wengi sana huko. How they got their way into our country, you wouldn't even know. Does the government do anything about it? They don't do anything about it. You know, nowadays unasikia watu wakisema vile wa Burundi wako kwa hizi streets zetu, they're selling tea and stuff. Pipita, you even wonder, you know, it's not like Kenya is ni kama US where like we have a lot of opportunities. We don't have a lot of opportunities. In fact, our own youth don't even have opportunities in our own country. And even wonder how these people find their way into the country, survive and even take up opportunities, you know. That's how much our system is flawed, Pipita. Going to the military today, Pipita, people who don't even deserve to be in the military, nowadays sign up and are part of military. There's a time I saw a certain lawmaker, I think it's during the previous parliament, a child was joining the police force. If you look at the person who's joining a police force, you wonder, you know. And Pipita, I've worked closely with the prison for a period of time hapo nyuma. Tulikuwa na this officer who was like asthmatic, you know. Hakuwa asthmatic. How do you call these people when wasipokula wanakuwa na problem? I don't know what the condition is. But then that is not something that should be allowed in the disciplined forces. So I was asking that person, it is uncommon to find such complications in the disciplined force, because now before you join it, they tell you to declare all the ailments that you could be having, you know. And the person was very frustrated, and it started telling me how nowadays unapata appointments are done, orders come from above. Someone who hasn't even served for more than 2 years is being posted in a position zenye watu wenye wako nyuma wanangoja kuoccupy by virtue of promotion. Na unashindwa tu, what will happen? That is the situation in the ground, Pipita. And that's how much corruption is costing us as a country. You know, it might not be there yet where it's now starting to crumple down, but then a lot in this country is going on, and we're losing a lot to corruption, Pipita. Yeah? Look at the stalled projects that you're talking about. Arrow and Kimare Dam came. We talked about it, ilikuwa kwa headlines. Nothing that went under the bed like that. You know, those are the stalled projects we have. Imagine if those dams were just built. Ingekuwa imefungua a lot of economic opportunities in this country. You know, we are losing a lot to corruption. A lot to corruption, Pipita. And it worries me a lot. Sometimes we just focus on the National Assembly. But tu vile Engineer Abel alisema, like it's not only the National Assembly, it's not only in the executive, it's not only even amongst the leaders, it's everywhere. Mpaka uko chini kabisa. You know, Pipita, lastly today, I experienced an accident when I was going to work. Do you know even the police officers needed money to carry the people who were injured to go to the to the hospital? That's how bad it is. I mean, it's in our DNA that you can't do anything without being offered money. Maybe even sometimes it's just your responsibility, you know, and it's very frustrating. And maybe yes, someone will say maybe genuinely they didn't have the money. But now, where does the money go to? The money allocated for these police vehicles, because now they're supposed to be funded by the government to do the work, you know, and I think that's part of their work as well, you know. So it's very, very frustrating, and that's why we hardly enjoy any good services from these public institutions. Today you go to Huduma Center, you'd hardly be served well, you know. Probably you got someone who is not even supposed to be working there is working there. This person will not even have any motivation to work. They will have zero appreciation for that job because they never even labored for it. So they just do whatever they want because they know nobody can call them out, nobody can kick them out. It's so sad, Pipita. I think I yield there. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, join Home Run with PP every weekday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on X Spaces. Home Run with PP, the home of your most valuable social conversations.
I'm just curious to see this poll. Kuna, do you believe that the multi-agency team on war on corruption will be the solution to runaway corruption in Kenya? Yes, Very Bold Moved has 11.5% votes. Kuna watu wana believe bado. I'd like to hear wale wana believe in it, wakuje kwenye mic pia wao watuambie kwa nini wana believe in that multi-agency corruption team. It has a variety of people in it, from KRA, DPP, DCI, Central Bank of Kenya, Financial Reporting Center, ESCC. 88.5% say no, cinema is cinema. You can keep on voting also on that post. It's on my timeline as well as we continue with this conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we had this conversation from the members of parliament and they were busy acting like God. So wanasema kwamba msitulaumu. MCAs pia ni wa jambas because they're controlling 13 billion. They're controlling 13 billion, but they act like they do not. They earn 80,000. So he didn't understand how this was happening. That wow, wanna handle how much is an MP's salary and how much is CDF allocation. Do you know how much was allocated for your county, engineer? Engineer lipa pesa ngapi kwa your constituency this year? Sijui kama nimebaki na mtu hapa ama wote wameenda. Engineer there? Aya, nikaa nimepoteza kila mtu.
This is Home Run with PP.
Request the microphone and talk to us. Of course, this is Home Run with PP. It's 7 minutes past 8 p.m. East African. Shout out to you, Bettina Kwana pale ndani. What are your thoughts on this conversation? The president has said watu wanapenda corruption.
On the ground as far as devolution is concerned, Honorable Speaker. And that is why in any case, Honorable Speaker, Article 96 should actually be implemented the more. We cannot say that you want the county assembly members be left with the responsibility of oversighting governors. Honorable Speaker, a governor that controls 13 billion shillings, a county governor that controls 13 billion shillings cannot be oversighted by an MCA who wants 80,000 shillings, and then they give them 3,000 shillings every day, Honorable Speaker, even to follow them, Honorable Speaker. This House, Honorable Speaker, has been under attack from every corner. We've been attacked, Honorable Speaker, by the members, some members of the judiciary. We've been attacked by the members of the public, sometimes being threatened, Honorable Speaker, to have our houses torched, Honorable Speaker. We want to, with tremendous respect, also tell His Excellency the President that now that attacks are coming from all over, want to inform him, Honorable Speaker, that he should not take the invitation to also join the bandwagon that attacks this house. Because this house, if somebody claims that they brought money to a certain committee or to a particular chair, then especially on a bill that is actually sponsored by the AG from government, then that person should actually be arrested the more, because he is the one picking money from some public side and then to try and bribe the members of parliament, Honorable Speaker. Because this House, Honorable Speaker, has been under attack from every corner, and it should actually not be happening. Today, as we are speaking, Honorable Speaker, people are already complaining about KERA. They want the KERA funds to be reverted to the counties. They want NGCDF to go. But, Honorable Speaker, you will need a microscope to see what governors or county governments are doing, Honorable Speaker, because there is nothing that is being done, Honorable Speaker.
Hi, Engineer, are you there? Okay, cool. Looks like we've lost Engineer. But request the microphone and talk to us. Do you believe what my guy Osoro is saying, that MCAs cannot oversee these counties? They cannot control the governors because of the salaries they're getting and the amount of money governors are controlling. I'd like to hear your points. Do you remember Wapi? But the mic is open to you guys here up until 9 p.m. For our conversation. We will be back here again as well tomorrow, probably earlier than today, because today I was on the road. Yes, but my point here is we are having runaway corruption in the country. Yeah, it's now something that now the president has now decided that it's too much to not talk about. And we are having on this other side MPs who are actually what we call MPs. Who did not show up in the parliament in the morning today. The lack of quorum led to the parliament to be discontinued up until later on. So that's when they came to do this.
Mr. Speaker, this House has done well. As a National Assembly, we've risen to the occasion. When we called out on Shah, during Adani, now the committee on PAC has done very well with e-citizen. And my guess is good, because I think that is where the rage is coming from. They have come out to unmask the culprits of e-citizen and how money is being stolen. Honorable Speaker, this House, this floor impeached a minister of government, Honorable Mithika Linturi. We have done well, Honorable Speaker, as a parliament. It is wrong, Honorable Speaker, for President to say he's fed on raw intelligence, Honorable Speaker, and moves to make such accusations against us. Honorable Speaker, in law, and you know better than me, anybody who becomes aware of a crime and keeps quiet of it is an accomplice. As we speak, the Honorable President is an accomplice, Honorable Speaker. Why was he giving the 10 million shillings?
Order, Wamboka. I referred you to Standing Order 87. You want to discuss the person and conduct of the President, bring a motion.
Well guided, Honorable Speaker.
Yes. Read your standing orders.
That was in Bunge today. That was Bunge. Wamboka tried to go after the president and was reminded that they changed the law. Wow, walibadilisha law, so he cannot talk about it. Lakini wamekula moto.
Pangwa rasmi matamshi ya Rais William Ruto hapo jana kuhusu baadhi ya wabunge na maseneta kudai hongo yaliibua mjadala. Wabunge wakiweka tofauti za kisiasa kando na kumkabako rais.
We are now going to exercise our teeth. We are now going to bite. And Honorable Speaker, as I speak, there is a table essential motion. It is before you, Honorable Speaker. It's coming. We must now take our rightful position as a National Assembly. If you're the president and you know those who are stealing, why don't you arrest them? Why do you come to tell us?
What do I have to do with it? You are the president. You are saying you want to fight corruption. And you know those who are stealing. What are you waiting for? Is it our business?
If that act was procured through bribery, then that act should be repealed and brought back to this house so that we can act on it again without the bribery.
Baadhi ya wabunge wakionya hii ni njama ya kisiasa wanayodai huenda ikatumiwa dhidi yao.
It must be that they are coming for CDF and for RMLF. It is for that reason. 2, it must be that they want to salvage their political aspirations at the expense of the members. They must have realized that many members perhaps are unpopular and so they want to throw them under the bus.
Kwa upande wao, maseneta waliowekwa darubini kwa madai ya kuitisha hongo kutoka kwa magavana sasa wanamtaka rais kufika mbele ya mabunge hayo mawili.
For the president to come and explain who are those people who are demanding bribes? Who are those people who are given bribes? Because you cannot try parliament in a kangaroo court when statute already has clear provisions for dealing with unethical conduct on the part of members of National Assembly or members of the Senate.
Huku wabunge na maseneta wakichemka, Spika Moses Wetangula amedhibitisha kupokea lalama dhidi ya wabunge kadhaa.
I have received some letters about members that I would have presented to the agencies on different things. Sometimes I call you, I talk to you, and you correct your ways. Let's also uphold our integrity. I have given you an opportunity this afternoon. Waswahili wanasema muwe mkala, lakini haki yake mpe.
Gatete Njoroge, runinga ya Citizen.
All right. That is today's report on what is happening in Bunge. I'd like to hear from you, guys, what your thoughts are on this conversation as well.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome. Home run with PP.
All right. Thank you for being here on Home Run with PP. Request the microphone and talk to us this beautiful evening. It's quite cold, but let's have the conversation. Pale kwenye poll, ninaona mna vote vizuri. Make sure you also following Mantrack Limited. Iko pale hivi juu nimeweka logo yao. The account, you can just click directly into their link and see what they do and also support me because niko hapo hivi leo. Sisi ndo tumepewa hiyo kandarasi ya kuwafikisha watu 1000. Sijui kama itakuwa rahisi ama ngumu. Tayari shanikalia ngumu bana. Hebu ingieni pale ndani munipatie support. Thank you so much. For anyone who has got the chance to follow Mantrack. So tufanye hivi. As we are continuing, I know not all of us have gotten the chance to follow. So I'm going to take this moment and give you a chance to follow the show, the Mantrack Kenya Limited. If you have not, just click it right under the tip jar. There is the Mantrack Kenya Limited art. Click on it right now to fike 370. While you're at it as well, the mic is open for the next 45 minutes for you to join in on the conversation. Ikiwa kwamba huku hivi mambo ilikuwa imechemka upande wa bunge leo as well after the president started the parliamentary group meeting, apparently which Sifuna did not attend. Yeah, so Sifuna was conspicuously empty or unavailable. Mm-hmm. The question here, do you believe that the multi-agency team on work on corruption will be the solution? Ikona 38 votes, 92% are saying no, cinema ni cinema, and only 7.9% want to vote yes, a very bold move. I'd like to hear from also those people who think it's a very bold move. Probably you can give us a perspective that we did not see.
Dinga. Nairobi Senator and ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna was among lawmakers who snubbed a crucial joint Kenya Kwanza ODM parliamentary group meeting in Karen, co-chaired by President William Ruto and ODM leader Raila Odinga. Sifuna, alongside Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino, has in recent days openly dismissed the Ruto-Raila broad-based arrangement, branding it as not the deal Kenyans want. KTN's Lennox Sengre reports.
As the high-stakes current PG meeting convened by sworn political nemesis President William Ruto and ODM Raila Odinga reached its climax, their party's luminaries' absence loomed large. ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna was a no-show.
Waite hawa wabunge ambao wanasema wataiba kura kwa ajili ya William Ruto waweze kujibu haya maneno.
Sifuna, famed for his fiery political rhetoric, is now the subject of deepening speculation over his loyalty to Raila Odinga's camp. His conspicuous absence reignited talk of looming political realignment at the heart of ODM. Earlier in the day, Sifuna was in Diani at the Law Society of Kenya's annual conference, where he was photographed alongside Embakasi East MP Babu Owino. The Embakasi legislator, another key ODM figure, who pointedly skipped the current gathering. In recent months, Sifuna has cast himself as a political free agent, openly rebelling against certain ODM positions. Including its warming ties with President Ruto. Also missing in action was Saboti MP Caleb Amisi and Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale.
Kuunga mkono William Ruto. Baba, that will be the end of me and the
Karen PG was the first ever joint meeting between ODM and UDA since unveiling of broad-based government front. Lennox Sengre reporting for KTN.
Ladies and gentlemen, join Home Run with PP every weekday from 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on X Spaces. Home Run with PP, the home of your most valuable social conversations.
All right. Thank you so much for being here on Home Run with PP this Tuesday. And we are on State of the Nation talking about corruption. And it looks like we're also seeing some realignments in the political front with others like Babu Owino separating themselves from the UDA-ODM marriage, which is going to turn 1 year old this year, I think. Yeah, it's turning 1 year old. So I'd like to hear your opinion on that, and also the multi-agency team that the president is putting together, which will be chaired by the Executive Office of the President. The Executive Office of the President will be chairing a team of about 10 agencies that will come together, funded by the agencies, from the Intelligence Service to the Directorate of Criminal Investigation to the KRA to the Office of the Directorate of the Public Prosecution. We also have the Financial Communication Center. We also have the Anti-Money Laundering Unit. All these coming together to form our task force. I would like to hear what your thoughts are on that task force. And of course, Home Run with PP this week is coming to you in conjunction with Mantra Kenya Limited. Go onto that follow button and follow Mantra Kenya Limited. Iko pale video tumeandika kwenye Jumbotron yetu. So go and follow them right now. Kama hujafollow by the way Mantra, wewe ndio wale wanaitwa enemies of progress. Weka kitu pale. It takes less than a second to follow and it's actually free. So this is the one chance for you to support us. We are currently at 369 following, and we are hoping to get at least to 370. Yeah, 370 sijawekea mingi. Mtu mmoja. Come on. Follow pale hivi. Naona tunaelekea tuko 370 sasa. Our next target is going to be 380. Twende tu pole pole. If you have not followed, make sure you're following. Actually na cross check. Nimekuwa kichwa ngumu leo. Unajua niko na watu wachache, so niko na time. Na cross check kwa wale hawajafanya the needful. While we're at it, also I'd like to hear one or two opinions before I call it a night here. I see kina Western Shilaha wako hapa hivi ndani. Sankale, come and talk to us as well. And let's hear what you have to say. Coming to you live from Nakuru, Kenya is Home Run with PP Wednesday edition, Tuesday edition.
Home Run with PP.
Kesho tutakuwa bado on air for trending topics. Itakuwa majioni around 5 p.m. We'll be here for trending topics Wednesdays. But today we are here on State of the Nation, State of the Corruption, and we are having a new conversation now. We have moved from the activism. Rigathi Gachagua is supposed to be coming back, but it looks like we will be saved from the rhetoric for a minute because the country seems to have shifted with the leadership towards the war on corruption, or so it seems. Kenyans seems not convinced from the votes I am seeing here. They seem not convinced at all. You know, they seem not convinced that they have the right ones going against the corrupt. I would like to hear your opinion, of course. Naona kina Kenya ni kukurukakara kwa hapa hivi. Betty Njeri, Magnum, Tomboya. You can request the microphone at any point and talk to us. So for me, I'm just playing clips of. It's been a while since I got many clips like this to to play. You know, our MPs were spitting fire and brimstone. Parliament was, you know, in the morning, the parliament refused to show up. The MPs waliogopa kutokea. Ilikuwa ni baridi sana. So ni kama watu wote waliamua waendi bunge. So they had to cancel the morning session of parliament because of lack of quorum. There's a number of MPs that has to be seated before they conduct official business. They were unable to do that. So they were the people are here telling us what they were given. Yeah.
Give us a housing levy. This president gave us a finance bill. That was very unpopular. We passed it for him. This president gave us a housing levy. We passed it for him. This president has asked us to pass SHA. We sat here until 10 p.m. Passed it for him. What have we done for him? What has this parliament not done for president that he now has to come and? But this president gave us a finance bill. That was very
what the MPs are saying is it has been a quid pro quo moment. They don't understand why now.
These members of parliament were nearly killed in this house as they defended democracy and the rule of law. Mr. Speaker, after that, there were some allegations that money had changed hands. I think there was a figure of 2 million that time. And members, some of them even lost their property. Their houses were burnt.
That's one Deto.
Mr. Speaker, to take you, others lost livestock and other things. So, Mr. Speaker, an allegation of bribery against a member, especially the figures that are being touted, even makes it, we feel endangered as you walk the street. People, first of all, imagine you are some 10 million or some 150 million, and others possibly think you are the worst enemy of the people. Mr. Speaker, you know, we have been called MPs. We have been called all manner of names. So as I conclude, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge you, as the leader of this House, to do whatever it can, Mr. Speaker, to defend the integrity of this House. And Mr. Speaker, we must, first of all, and if you allow me, since I had a substantive motion, Mr. Speaker, add me only 2 minutes so that I finish. Mr. Speaker, it is important that you lead us to restore the dignity of this House. And there are certain things that we must stop doing. First of all, we have what I would call an unholy dalliance with the executive. Mr. Speaker, this House has to stop being a choir for the executive. Mr. Speaker, this week we have also seen a lot of attack on CDF and an attack on Constituency Roads Fund by the same executive whom we have helped here with very difficult decisions. And now, I think, Mr. Speaker, the chickens have come to roost. Mr. Speaker, I invite the members of the executive to read Matthew chapter 7, verses 3 to 5. We know corruption is a big issue in this country, but the Bible reminds us, why look at the speck of sawdust in your neighbor, while you yourself, you have a log inside your eye. Mr. Speaker, as I finish, it appears some people are falling, but we will not allow them to fall with the whole House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome Run with PP.
All right. You're listening to Home Run with PP with this association with Mantra Kenya Limited. Make sure you follow Mantra Kenya Limited for all your big machine needs. Yes, Mantra Kenya Limited uko pale viju tumeweka kwenye Jumbotron yetu. Just click on the blue handle of Mantra Kenya Limited and it will send you straight to following them. And I hope new Kenya umefollow Mantra bwana. What a Lego gang. Jambo Boda Lego.
Vipi pipit?
Jambo niko fresh kabisa, labda wewe.
Mimi pia nashukuru, niko vyema.
Hiyo ni vizuri sana, karibu.
Hii mchezo ya Ruto ni mchezo ya kuona watu mafala. Alijuaje kwamba wabunge wanakuwa bribed? Ni kama unaweza jua kwamba unajua kwamba sukari yako inaibwa kwa nyumba na wewe ndio baba. Na si kwamba kuna mgeni anakujanga kwa hiyo nyumba. Hakuna mtu mgeni anakujanga kwa hiyo nyumba, ni wewe na watoto wako na bibi. So you know very well kwamba ni bibi yangu na naibia, so you just take an action. Ama unajua watoto wangu na naibia, so you just take an action. These are just the PR. So I think it is a time they have realized kwamba the people are more about accountability. So you want to play with our mind. But he's the mastermind of hizi vitu zote. By the way, Ruto should not complain about the corruption. He has all the instrument of power. Which power does he need again? So long as he can use the power to control corruption, I think nobody will see that the president is maybe mishandling the law. Nobody. So long as he's using that one just to control corruption, nobody will say, oh, the president is now misusing the law or what. It will be good for the people. But this standing in the podium and telling us nonsense, I don't find it does not add up. It does not add up. Ruto has told us a lot of PR. Every now and then story. He knows how money is, in fact, during the impeachment of Rigathi Gachagua, people talked about how money changed hand. And by that time, he was adamant about it. He never came out and even defended. Now again, he's coming and telling us, oh, you know, the most corrupt is members of, who is channeling all this corruption if members of parliament are corrupt? Who is bribing them? Is him bribing them so that he can sell his way through? So Ruto should not play with our mind. I think that we are so stupid. I think we need to learn that now the coin has been changed. Maybe stupider than that us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, New World Lego Gang, for that. I see we have a couple of new listeners also. You can request the microphone and talk to us. I see Honorable Wamushomba. Yeah. I'm a tweet 24 minutes ago, impeachment season 2 loading, loving the melody. Western, this is the moment our country would actually surprise us with a random impeachment of the presidency or the president dissolving parliament mid-impeachment. But what are your thoughts on all this with our multi-agency team?
Peter, I don't know really. For me, what disturbs me is how superficial we read the politics. I mean, Parliament is corrupt. That's a fact. It's a fact. Because if you're talking about grand corruption, it's not corruption on the streets or along the highways by traffic police. Grand corruption is high-level corruption in institutions of governance. And Parliament is one of the 3 arms of the government. It's corrupt. That's a fact. And it's not more corrupt because the president has said it. The question would be, will anything come out of what he has said? But it's not news to Kenyans. Those impeachment motions, those bills that go through Parliament, I mean, you people don't remember. There was this very shameful scandal about mercury in sugar and how the mandarins who are importing sugar laced with mercury bribed members of Parliament. Those people who sit in those committees and summon people, very useless people. Whatever comes out of that, those committees,
When there's a crisis or we are summoning, come and explain yourself before the Senate or whatever comes out of those useless investigations. What comes out of those? Nothing. But how come anybody who appears before those committees is cleared? So they're corrupt. It's a cesspool of corruption. In fact, the addition of the other layer of the Senate has not improved, the legislature. It's just another layer of corruption. Just a burden to the taxpayer. For me, the question is, what will he do about it? Because in countries that are less corrupt, it's always the executive that fights corruption, not even the judiciary, not the courts. Because you can bribe judges, or you can have user-friendly judges, and they will just make the cases just linger in the corridors of the judiciary for many years. But it's always the executive that fights against corruption. Because if you're a corrupt judge, he can form a tribunal to remove you from office. He can fire you if you're in their cabinet. Can have you jailed. So corruption must be fought from the office of the president. Is he willing to do it? Those are questions we can have. But what he's doing is what is supposed to have been done long time ago. Kenya is mired in corruption because presidents who came before were corrupt. That's why everybody else just thinks corruption is normal. And these people will tell you about key ODM members. Peter, those key ODM members, even when you listen to that TV, are those key ODM members? Is Sifuna a key ODM member? What is the definition of a key ODM member? What is it? Is Babu Owino a key ODM member or Caleb Amisi? Some of those pieces of news, Peter, they're just hyping up people for no reason. These are not key ODM members. They can leave ODM today and nothing will change. You know it. Nothing will change. The party is not going to be shaken at all. It's like you've removed some stone from a house and that hasn't shaken the foundation. Still standing. They're not key. Just part of the petty politics, that the media plays in Kenya. Instead of, being rigorous in the reporting of these things. Khalwale, is he a key UDA member? Key. What does that even mean? If Khalwale does not attend UDA parliamentary group, would they even notice that conspicuously absent? Oh, really? When MPs tell you, we have done, what haven't we done for the president? Peter, like what are you talking about? So you are in parliament to do things for the president. Like, what haven't we done for him? Oh, really? You are even listening to them? They're corrupt, even from their choice of words. They're corrupt people. Oh, we were here, I don't know, defending, we almost died. You are not defending the country. You are passing a finance bill. That's what that MP was referring to. Was that defending the country, defending the constitution? You passed it despite protesters being outside parliament. How can you even have sympathy for such people? Oh, so bills come to parliament and you pass them to please the president. Peter, there's one lesson here. If you're a sycophant in this world, no one takes you seriously. People think that if you're a sycophant, whoever you suck up to respect you, they can't respect you. William Ruto knows these people are corrupt. He has no respect for them. He knows. That's what you get. People think if you suck up, you do another person's bidding, or they'll protect you. They'll dispense with you because you are useless. If you can get another sycophant, how much can it cost you? But it's difficult to get a principled person. So the president can only respect parliament if they're principled. He's not going to respect them if they do things to please him or they receive money to pass bills, whether it's from him or another quarter. I mean, he knows these people stand for nothing. That CDF thing, why are they clinging to it? Corrupt. Why? Why do they want to handle money? Why don't they let it go? That money could go to some other kitty and then be used to, roll out those development programs that they purport to carry out, are they development experts? Is that one of their responsibilities? So even from their pronouncements, you can tell they're corrupt. They're not defending the country. They're not defending Kenyans. They're defending themselves. Okay, integrity of the house, Pipita. Pipita, you can vouch for 400 plus people. Can you vouch for them vis-a-vis corruption? Even you, Pipita, in a group of 10 people, 20 people, can you speak for all of them? No, you can only speak for yourself. That I have not taken anybody's coin. But you can't say we 20 people here didn't take anybody. How do you know? How do you know that out of those 20 people, no one took a bribe? Do you follow them? Do you know where they sleep? Do you know who they speak to? So defend the integrity of the house? No. There may be people of integrity in the house, but it's not true logically that the entire house is made up of people of integrity. It's not true. It's not true. So this collective, they are looking at it from a collective perspective. It shows there's a problem. There's a problem in the house. Otherwise, why don't you speak for yourself? I am not corrupt. I have not taken anybody's bribe. I have not been bribed to pass any bill, any motion. People listen to you. But to say, Speaker, how can the Speaker of the National Assembly defend all those members? Does he know what they do? Does he have details of their bank accounts? Does he? He can't. On matters of corruption and morality, you can only speak for yourself. You can't speak for anybody else. You can't speak as a collective. So, Pipita, I'm saying that this agency that has been formed cannot be the solution, because corruption is so entrenched in Kenya. You cannot just have up with some, an agency or a team, and then corruption will go. No, it's deeply entrenched. The question is, what will it do differently that has not been done before? That's the question, and that's a matter of wait and see. But it can't be the solution. Deeply, deeply entrenched, and it's a way of life. So, Pipita, we've been asking that this parliament here be held to account. They should be held to account. They should be held to account. Because the thing is this, don't dispute something because you have an issue with whoever is saying it. Don't. Even a drunkard can give advice that don't drink and drive. You will crash your car. You will kill yourself potentially. You will kill other people potentially. You can't say, no, that's not true because you're a drunkard. No, that's factually correct. If he tells you that it's true, if you drink and drive, there are likely to be consequences. Somebody who smokes can tell you smoking is hazardous to your health. Don't smoke. You can't say, no, it's not true because you're smoking. No, it's true. Even if you're smoking, it's true. So focus on what it is, that the issues in question. These issues, we have been raising these issues. So let's not cast aspersions because we disagree with the person who is saying those things. We've been raising these issues. The fact of the matter is there's corruption at the highest in the government in Kenya, and nobody's doing anything about it. They're playing politics with it. So you, Mr. President, what will you do differently? It can't be, no, you can't go after these MPs because you're also corrupt. There's no logic there. Absolutely none, zero. So what will be done about corruption? Should we just lament about it? Should we? Or we have accepted it as a way of life? Or there's somebody special that we're waiting for who is going to fight corruption? Who is that person? It's a problem. It's an epidemic.